see. I'd like to talk to you today about a couple of experiences that I have had relative to the topic of motivation and how the impact of what we see affects our ability to move forward on things that we're dealing with, or goals that we have. Go back with me, if you would, to December 24th, 2014. I'm up in Cleveland, or Chagrin Falls is the area that my kids live in, my son and his wife Bonnie and their daughter Hannah. We're at a Christmas Eve service, at a nice little Christmas Eve service at the church that they go to, and the service ends. It's been snowing, kind of nice outside. You can see the snow on the roads, but it's still easy to drive. My wife and I get in the car. We're going to head back and drive back to their house, and we're going to spend the weekend with them celebrating the holiday. So we get in the car, it's snowing, and we start to drive through those hills in the Chagrin Falls area up in Cleveland. Well, suddenly, this little bit of snow that's coming down all of a sudden becomes a major storm. This guy that's been driving and just kind of making sure as we're going up and down the hills, all of a sudden, when this storm comes in, the wind is whipping, and the experience, it's like watching a video game when you have all those bullets coming at you or whatever. The snow is hitting the windshield so fast and so hard, I can't see anything. And I mean, I'm talking right in front of the car. I can't see anything. So what do? This guy that was driving nice and careful and cautious through Chagrin Falls, all of a sudden, my hands get tight and intense. I'm not leaning back anymore. I'm right up on the windshield. I'm squinting. I'm checking the rearview mirror because I don't want somebody to ram me from the back as I'm going up and down these little hills. And I'm doing everything I can to see if there's another car in front of me that has the headlights and taillights that I don't want to run into somebody. So I'm sitting here in this place of just major caution. My 40 miles an hour as I was kind of nice and carefully going through Chagrin Falls, all of a sudden probably comes down to about 3 to 5 miles an hour. And I am scared to death in the situation, trying to figure out, how do I get to their house? We were crawling, probably closer to like what my granddaughter at 13 months was doing at that time. Finally, about 3 minutes later, I'm in a place where the storm lets up. It wasn't very long at all. I can finally get back to seeing in front of me, seeing behind me with a very short glance in the rearview mirror. And I'm able to progress in driving. Well, there's a little more snow on the road, so I still got to be a little careful. Maybe I didn't get back up to 40, but I sure increased my speed from the 3 to 5 miles an hour that I was going. We were able to then progress on to my son's house and visit and spend the weekend. Contrast that to a couple years ago when I was celebrating my retirement celebration. I'm on my way to Colorado. I love the mountains. I love the mountains. Get me to the mountains, dear. I'm celebrating my retirement. And then we're going to go out to Arches National Park out in Utah. Cool, give me those red rocks. I love those red rocks. It's a nice sunny afternoon. We're driving through a beautiful tree area, and you can see some of the mountains in the distance. The steering wheel has my hand on it, or part of my hand on it, as I'm resting my hand on top. I've got my arm resting and back and touching my wife's chair. I've got a teaching tape because I got headsets in, so I love listening to growth and development stuff. So I was listening to something, and I'm just enjoying the trip. Incidentally, I'm going the speed limit. I've got cruise control on. You know, I'm a guy that does the speed limit, so if I was the guy that went over the speed limit, I would clearly be over the speed limit. But I'm just kind of cruising along and just enjoying my time. If we look at the contrast of those two experiences and the impact on my ability to progress forward, to the goal that I was aiming at, my ability to be able to see in front of me has a major impact on my ability to proceed quickly and enjoy the time in moving forward. How is that similar to other aspects of our life? The goals that we have, the things that we need to accomplish. When we're not clear on specifically what we are wanting to accomplish, we don't have a good handle on it. So often, it's like driving in that snowstorm. Our movement is slow. We can be tense in that process. We can be checking others around us because we don't know what could happen. We're not clear on what we want. As a coach, one of the greatest ways that I'm able to bring value to people is literally asking the question, what do you want? What do you want is in many ways a completely new perspective for so many people. What's really interesting, you want to find out where people are experts? They're experts in what they don't want. I don't want to meet with my son and confront him on that topic. I don't want to go to this meeting. I don't want to go to the gym and have to keep exercising. I don't want thing after thing after thing. And if you look at our conversations that we have with other people, what spills often is the environment and situations that we're in and the things that we don't want. When we get clear on what we want, it completely changes the picture. As a coach, I help people not only get clear on what they want, but develop steps to be able to move forward on those. It's really interesting. When I just met with a client just before we came into our session today. And he said, okay, I want to focus on organization. It's like, okay, so what is it you actually want out of the next 30 minutes relative to organization? Good question. So eventually he said, I want to feel organized on this upcoming concert that I'm coordinating and have individual steps that I can take. It's like, great, now we've got something tangible we can go after. Let's break down just that little tiny sentence that you just shared with me. What does organized look like? Good question. So we continued to march down the path. We got to the end of the session, like all other sessions. He had identified numerous things that he could do when he got clear and sharp about what he wanted to actually do. I can't see that tense environment versus I'm going right where I want to go, I know how to get there, and I'm really looking forward to it. My question is for you, on the things that you want to accomplish, how clear are you on what it is and the steps you need to take to get there? It has a gigantic impact on your motivation and your ability to actually move forward. Decide today to get clearer on what you're doing. It will impact your ability to achieve the things that you want to achieve.